Okay, gangy. Look, we are here and celebrities are already popping up. Somebody invited Diana Gladney. Who the hell did that? I know it was Noelle. She set me up already. She already talking spicy in the backstage. All right, gang, we're going to do something really cool today. I'm bringing in some buddies of mine. They live here in Honolulu with me, so all y'all can hate your life because we live somewhere cool. I am in a jacket because it's cold as hell in my office, but I have no control over the AC. So there's that. Nobody asked, why are you in Hawaii wearing a sweater? Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about some AI stuff today. But before we do that, I wanted to have a couple of points to tell you that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I am going to probably make a whole video going deeper because it has been a weird, like, crack in my brain for the entire week. So, first of all, this is being recorded live. We do these live streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays, but some of you guys are going to watch this on the replay. So I am going to purposely formulate this live stream to be extremely replay friendly. And we're going to offer you some cool stuff at the end. So stick around. Don't run away. Don't be a weirdo. Just come and hang out. But my first thought about AI, and again, I'll try to make this as concise as possible, but it is early in the morning here in Honolulu. We are at a very weird inflection point when it comes to AI. I want to think of this almost like I was trying to come up with an analogy. None of these are good. Nobody at me in the chat. If you got a better one, type it in there. It's kind of like Pony Express, right? So we started with sending a raven, and then we had smoke signals. Well, I think those are the other way around. Eventually, we got to where someone would put a telegram in a bag and somebody would ride it across the country on a horse and they would deliver that message. And then later on, we got the telegram, which allowed us to, and we could send them that way. And eventually, we got mail and FedEx and UPS. And then we got just, sort of email. AI is at this weird inflection point where it's always been, and all of the conversation is about generative AI. All of the fear is about generative AI. But behind the generative AI, there are tools that are using artificial intelligence and machine learning that are way better and way deeper. And today I'm going to present you, well, I'm not going to. Bryan, my guest, Bryan Switalski, is going to show you, and they're going to show you what they built. Now, what got me super jazzed about this real quick, I'm not going to spend too much time on bios here, but what got me jazzed on this real quick is one of my partners in crime is this lady right here, Miss Diana Gladney. And many, many years ago, she said, hey, do you know who Ray Edwards is? And I was like, girl, I have a marketing degree. Of course I know who Ray Edwards is. She goes, well, he wrote this book. You should read it. And it was called Copy That Sells. And so I got a copy of the book, and then I read it. And then I got an autographed copy from Uncle Ray. And then one day, I just sent him an email, and I was like, hey, Uncle Ray, I'm doing this live stream. I'd love you to come on and talk to us about copywriting. And he came in and dropped gems on the entire community about no matter what you're doing, especially people like Raphael, who's hanging out here in the chat. If you have a service or a software, in Raphael's case, or a software tool, or a course, or coaching clients, membership, you sell merch, you kind of need to adjust the way you create content so that your content is technically always converting even when it's not converting. And one of Uncle Ray's famous things that he taught me is everything is copy. I don't think a lot of people understand that. Everything is copy. So including your YouTube title and thumbnails, when you title a YouTube video, if you do it with a copywriter's mindset, you'll do better. And when YouTube people are talking about, oh, you need the hook, and then you need to do the re-hook, that's all copy, bro. That's all using the words and the terminology that get your head going. So we're going to talk about this tool today, and I want you to look at this with an open mind because, yeah, your Gen AI bots, me, Claude, and ChatGPT, we have a good time. Like, we hang out on a party basis. Jim and I, jumps in every once in a while, and I've been going crazy with Claude co-work. But yeah, this is just different. So I don't know how to explain it any better. So we're going to dive right in. Let me introduce you to my homies over here. Hello, it is Noelle and Bryan.
Aloha.
Aloha. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. What's really funny is these guys live about 4.5, 5 miles away from me, and I ain't seen Bryan in months. Actually,
It's
it might
true.
have
It
been
needs to
years.
happen.
Might have been years. But we live right down the street from each other, which is pretty funny. But we're busy out here. Okay. First of all, let's talk about how you came upon such a Clarity Scribe idea, and let's describe to people what Clarity Scribe is.
Yeah. So when I was starting out, I was a graphic designer and building websites and all that kind of thing. And some websites would do really well, and others, wouldn't do well at all. And what I found out is it came down to the words on the page. And I hated that as a graphic designer because I thought it was like, if you make a nice, pretty design and stuff and it looks really sick, people are gonna buy. That's true to a degree, but one would flop and one would succeed, and the difference was the words. And so when it came to working with clients, nobody knew how to write the words. The client didn't know how to write the words. They were like, "What should go here?" And I'm like, "Lorem ipsum, you tell me, you give me the words. You know about your business, right? You know how to talk about it. I'm here to make things look nice." And nobody owned that space in that conversation.
That is
And
actually
so,
factual as all get out.
yeah, so it came down to I decided, look, if anybody's gonna get this right, I have to own it in the relationship. Like I have to be the person to if the business owner is perpetually not going to be the person to figure it out, then I have to be the person to do it. Now, I wouldn't say that that's what I would recommend pejoratively. Like, I think other creators and business owners, you should learn copy. It's like the superpower for your business. But if you're creator on the side of like graphic design, web design, and everything like that, this is one of the skills that will catapult you into a different degree of business because of the help. Uh, Most business owners aren't going to pick it up.
I would say something
So
real quick. It's the skills to pay the bills. Now, Doc, you always got to keep it hip hop, right? The difference between, and I'll use a modern day hip hopper, but the difference between, say, Kendrick and Little Yachty is copy. One of them is a
mm,
Pulitzer Prize lyricist, aka copywriter, and the other one is on lean and a whole bunch of other drugs we can't pronounce, and just and then you're like, oh, cool, had a nice beat. And it's really weird though, because even if you go to your singer songwriters, right? If you take it all the way back to, your Jules and, anybody, Sheryl Crow, who are incredible songwriters, their lyrics hit people in a way that you could listen to the song with your eyes closed and cry, right? And even that's copy. So, to a creator standpoint, if your only job is to make YouTube videos and make them good or fun or entertaining or educational, it's still copy. It's not just
mhm.
about sales. And it took me a long time to wrap that through my Malone.
That's so good. Yeah, so I once I figured out that I needed to be the one who got good with words. I learned from some of the best, Donald Miller, and then I jumped into Ray Edwards' boat and got certified with him. He had a fantastic framework breaking down things to make copywriting incredibly simple, again, for business owners, for creators, and went deep into his world, got to work with him for several years. And then AI came out, and I'll tell you what, when it first came out, ChatGPT was like, like not even something that people were really talking about at the time, but it was just like for the people who were tinkering with it, was quite interesting. So the funny thing is, I started out like just like going through. Me and Noel were working on creating like a board game or something, board game ideas and things. We love board games. And it was like this like fantasy style Candyland-esque kind of thing. And I was like, oh, I need some ideas for like the different items that people could pick up inside of this game. And ChatGPT was really good at ideas. That's actually not a strong suit of mine. And I would say when it comes to AI, if you can lean on AI in an area that's not your strength, that's like a next level move. Like for me, ideation, not a strong suit. Like f figuring out all of the different ideas. My strength is actually selecting one, is figuring out one. And so AI is great at coming up with all of these ideas. And so I'm like, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. Right. And to me, that was one of those groundbreaking kind of moments. And then I started thinking, I was like, oh, what else could this do? And I talked with Ray and I was like, this would be really dope if it could get really good at writing these fascination points. Fascination points are like different bullet points that you'll do inside of your copy that get people really curious and want to learn more about what it is that you do. And there was a couple different copywriting tools out at the time. It was Jarvis back then, but now it's like Jasper now and stuff. But none of them were really good at fascination points, which is one of the things Ray Edwards has like down pat. And so I was like, oh man, if there was a tool that did fascination points, it would be over. And that was just like the kind of like what if moment. Like, what if we made the thing trained to write the copy that we know works?
That's
What if we could
brilliant.
build something like that?
All right, so I'm gonna do something crazy here. Sorry, Noel, you can get put on the spot. Give us some
Okay.
examples of fascination points for people who may not
Yeah,
know.
so
Your name's
we
not
just
Noel. I wanted to see her come up with something crazy. She told me I had to. I'm just trying to get back on her good side. I got in trouble already.
Fascination bullets. Oh, you are definitely putting me on the spot. B- uh, gosh. So okay. Mm.
I can't think of one off the top of
See,
my head either.
I'm not the copywriter in this house. Brian is a certified
All right,
copywriter. I
Brian, go
just
ahead. You
check
off
the
the
stuff.
hook this time. I was trying to think of one and I can't pull one. And as soon as you said I have 50, but right now my brain
Well,
yeah.
is stuck.
it okay, so I feel like I feel like this would lean more towards curiosity, which kind of lands in the fascination realm, but this one gosh, I'm trying to think of how Brian would say this. Um, this one diet hack will help you lose 12 pounds in 3 days or something like that.
Got it.
Right. Or it's
Got it.
like right, like that would lean like towards curiosity, but it
Yeah.
is actually in fact true.
Yeah. It's
Sardines for
called
3 days.
cocaine. I'm
It's
joking.
called sardines for 3 days. We don't do
I'm
cocaine, sir.
joking. I'm joking.
Allegedly.
I
Uh,
no. Strangely enough, I grew up with Lynn Bias, and he was real good friends with my sister, and he after he famously died from trying it one time, I was terrified. I was like never even think about it. I was so afraid because of Lynn Bias, which is kind of jacked up because he was going to be a really good basketball player. Okay, Brian, what is your fascination? I just want to make sure people are grabbing sort of what these feel like.
Yeah, so that's actually Noelle brought up a really good example of that. So the solution that she brought up is using eating just sardines for 3 days, right? That's the solution, and it puts your body into super ketosis. Basically, it's one of the fastest ways of getting your body into ketosis, which is a super fat burning,
I
basically,
can't eat
to shorten
sardines.
that up.
Ugh, sardines are horrible.
Yeah, yeah, not my thing either. But Noelle did it and got the results from it. But when you're writing a fascination point, like Noelle was saying, she didn't mention sardines. She didn't mention all of those other kind of things. She talked around those types of things. It's very much like hook-like language,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But fascination points are kind of like a stack of those. It might be like four or five of those kind of different things, talking around those kind of things. So it causes the mind to go back and forth and understand a little bit why it's important and why you should pay attention, and then you'll click in or other kind of things. So, like for example, for today's call, we wrote a couple fascination points for this live thing. So one of the ones that we have is the $500 million secret revealed. We'll explain why this framework is so powerful and how this AI leverages it to generate incredible results.
Write that down, Paul,
Um,
and leave the stuttering part in.
I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic, so writing off like
Oh,
reading off a
bro,
teleprompter or reading
family.
off of things,
Now we're
it's
talking.
not it's
Now
not
we're
my strong
talking.
suit.
You should hear a
Yeah.
conversation between me and Brandon Washington, like two ADHD dudes that can't read. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's so wild. And so
No,
speaking to
and
your
it
computer
sucks.
has been the best thing ever. And I've been at
Mm,
this all the way back since Nuance came out, like Dragon Dictate 1. And it was always terrible,
yeah.
terrible, terrible. And then it started getting better. And then Siri was kind of messing it up. But right now, things like Whisper Flow or Audio
Whisper
Pen,
Flow's dope.
yo, I live in that place because your boy can't type, can't read. So I like the way you said that though, because even when I was doing mine for the stream itself, I had came up with a couple, and as I was going through the titles and trying to figure out, which one I thought had like the strongest hook, I had some really decent hooks, right? But I wanted something that would kind of give a little bit more of the curiosity, you know what I mean? As opposed
Mm,
to just giving them the answers. And so
hmm
that's why I came up with, like this the concept of the 500, I should have said half a billion, but see 500 million sounds like more than a half a billion because I know the audience and it's going to be primarily people from our country and we're not the best with math, and it's really weird that 500 million sounds like more than a half a billion because it's the same, but it's just the way
It's like the
people
whole
do it.
quarter pound burger thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So going in and bringing up the things, I was trying to see if I could real quickly pull out the rest of the other ones that I came up with, but I really did want to heavily lean in on the one that was more about, here's your $500 million brain hack, and we're going to tell you why. And one of the other things that I wanted to point out is that it's not ChatGPT. That was the key thing
hmm
because that messes people
hmm
up. So my two choices were either going to be the $500 million copywriting secret that is now an AI tool, or AI trained on copy that made 500 million plus, not ChatGPT, and they sound very close.
hmm
But when one is just giving you a number and the other one says it made it means like there's a possibility for you to make it, and I felt that was the better trigger. And
Yeah.
I don't can't say I know how I processed that other than I read all the Ray's books.
Well, and like I was talking about earlier, like it's great at giving you ideas, and then you get to be the person with taste that's picking it and choosing it,
Like
right?
it.
Yeah.
Like it.
So and the cool thing too is like let's say you release that as an email. You could
Oh, it's going
throw
to
both
happen
of
after
those
this.
lines as a subject line, right? You could use both of those as subject lines and A/B test it and get data on which one actually works, right? So you can even prove your own intuition on that thing or prove against it. Whichever one's gonna win, right? Like that
Yes.
that's the win. So it's a great tool for not just producing ideas that you can pick from, but being able to run with things at the same time. Like even in the YouTube world, you can produce different thumbnail images and test to see which one wins, right?
100%.
Same thing with titles and all of those other kind of things. Like you want to be able to have a lot of options, but it just causes so much brain fatigue to be able to come up with all of those different things and crank that out. Our brains aren't meant to crank out like that, or at least most people's brains aren't. I mean, Jimmy, Mr. Beast is like, his brain works on that kind of thing. But for us, for all of us other creators out here who aren't Mr. Beast, right? And we want good stuff out there. We want stuff that's going to potentially win more hooks in the water to catch the best fish. Like we need tools that are going to give us a plethora of ideas.
Love it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dive in real quick, and we're gonna take a look at what ClarityScribe has to offer. Before we do that, let me jump over to this page real quick. I hope I named these correct. I was making my scenes in the beginning of this. Here we go. I don't know why that stayed there. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys real quick. Like you just pop over to the page. It is docrock.live/clarity. That is the link that I put in. The link is also in the descript. And if you go over here, check out the site, dive in. We have a 14-day trial for you. And we're going to go in and we're going to show you some of the stuff in the back end. But here's where I think the massive level up is there the best way to describe this. Okay, so we've been talking a lot recently about getting your email thing together or using your social time. I get if nobody has time. You guys always complain about how you don't have enough time to do stuff. You know, I'm always called BS, but I'm gonna let you live with that for a minute. um, if right now, just creating stuff and not marketing it is causing creators a lot of headache. And there's this thought that, the algorithm is responsible for who puts eyes on your content. That thinking is like, okay, me and Paul are going to make a ramen restaurant, right? Doc and Duncan's Ramen. And then we open up fancy. I bring back all of the dopest ingredients from Japan. I teach Paul, like how to answer the door in Japanese, and we got everything on point. It's just completely set up. We even made white chocolate dessert so Diana could come through, and we all just sat there like this, waiting for people to come in. You're gonna get 5, 6, 8 people walk through the door. But if you do a marketing campaign, run some ads, run some TV commercials, do a little bit of social media, things like that, you can get a line around the door, especially with good copy. And so too many of you guys are you're making the content and sticking it in the air, and you're depending on the algo to bring the bodies to the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. And I know this because I freaking do it, and I outproduce every single one of y'all in the chat when it comes to content. And I do it. So I know you're doing it. So this is going to save us. Bryan is here like Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. All right. So there's the back end of ClarityScribe. That was a really stupid rant. Sorry.
That's dope. That's dope. So yeah, this is ClarityScribe. So it started out from that idea, like, what if we could train the AI to write like the best copywriters, to write on best frameworks, but also be trained on some of the best copy out there. So the problem is that, with like ChatGPT or even Claude and stuff, it's all generative AI based off of like the average that's out there on the internet. And the average out there on the internet is like, your friend's website who doesn't get no sales, and and their buddy's website who also doesn't get any sales, or their video that, flopped. And that is what is training these models on content. Yes, it's, natural English and other languages and stuff, but it's not actually the type of stuff that gets people to take action. It's not the kind of stuff that gets people to engage. And so we train this not just on good frameworks, but actually on the kind of content and sales copy that works. So when you go into ClarityScribe, this is the dashboard that you'll see once you fill out a couple questions, just a quick couple questions about your brand, like what you do and who you serve, that kind of stuff. Easy questions to answer. And it'll put together like a core thesis for your brand up here. This is for our brand Multiply. I've got a best-selling book. We've got a really great community running to multiply people's effect, not their effort. That's a whole core thrust of what we do, which, it's why we came up with this software. And down below here, we also made a space where you can actually put in your customer reviews. So if you've got, or it can even be different pieces of praise from about your content, different comments and stuff. You could add that inside of there. And what this is doing is it's actually training the entire system on your brand and on your people. So in fact, I'll show you a little bit of a deep dive. It does a deep analysis into my audience. So I'll go to the audience tab here. And I've got this one stall but driven Danielle for our multiplier brand. And this audience, it's made of experienced coaches, consultants, and marketers, earning at least 100,000 a year. They post on social media all the time, but still struggle to turn those efforts into real leads and sales. They feel burnout, stuck, hungry for a process that actually works. And it gives me a couple of the buying triggers, what's going to cause them to take action. The burnout from consistent posting, lack from real leads or buyers, seeing competitors grow faster, feeling overwhelmed or confused, or hitting a growth plateau. And then it goes down into a detailed avatar. Now, all of these tools, and this is like, kind of branding 101, but I'm surprised how many businesses don't actually have this. They start with their business idea to open up, their ramen shop and stuff, but they don't know their people. And this actually does that for you and goes really deep into who your audience is. And these are the things that it's training the rest of the system on. So when you create a piece of content, it's speaking directly to them in their language and the things that matter to them. And so
That's so
that's one of
good.
the things.
I was reading your Danielle, and I was like,
Mhm.
yo, she sound like half the people we know. maybe 70, 80% of the people that we know. Like that was a very good description. And I'll tell you people, just from my experience, what Brian showed you is like getting to your customer avatar. It's actually really easy on the back end because it's going to ask you a bunch of questions and you just answer them the best you can, and it helps you sort of design your avatar if you haven't fully done that journey yet. um, and I know that is something that we all talk about, and we tell people you should try to figure out what that is and what that person looks like. And yeah, not everybody does it. And then we wonder why things aren't landing on the right people. And it's because you're talking to the wrong audience. Like the way that I talk to you guys, I can't talk to my niece Emma the same way. I have to adjust my verbiage for her, because she's hard headed Virgo like myself. So I have to speak to her the way that I probably want to be speaking to. She's totally a mini me, and it completely is the difference between getting her to do something without any teenage yelling, um, than normal. So. Here, this was a question from Kevin. I think Miss D got it in the chat, but I just wanted to make sure. Noel, Kevin wants to know: social media manager, can I use this for multiple businesses at the same time, or we each need an account?
That's a great question. Yeah, so we actually made accounts super simple. If you're just like a solopreneur or entrepreneur business owner, the pro plan is there for you. You don't need any kind of extra accounts or anything like that. But if you work like as an agency or a consultant or a creator for multiple different brands, our Creator Plus account has got you covered. You can have multiple brands and it's all organized. That's the other thing. Like, I don't know if you've worked with ChatGPT or Claude lately. It's really hard to organize stuff inside of there or find anything. In here, all you have to do, I'll show you a little panel here. All you have to do is go down here. If you're on Creator Plus, you can switch to another brand and it'll change it for you. You'll have an entirely different dashboard, different results, different reviews, your brand, your audience, even your content engine, which we'll be getting to in a bit, which is like your content planner and all of that kind of stuff. It's so easy to switch on the fly. So this for you, Creator Plus for you if you manage multiple brands. If you don't manage multiple brands, Pro has got you covered.
Perfect. That makes sense. Thank you so much. See,
My pleasure.
see, Miss D was on it. We got to pay her. All right,
So
let's go. So let's do something, like an example of generating some content. Because here's the thing that blows my mind about it is how fast. Not only can you generate content, but you can generate a lot of content really quickly. And I think the money shot is going to be how fast you can fill out an entire content calendar with ClarityScribe. It's kind of bananas, and stay in the theme, which is also clutch.
dope. Yeah, so we've got this feature inside of here called the content engine. And when you go inside of it, you can come either with your own idea. You can write an idea down and throw it into the system, or you can brainstorm a bunch of ideas. And it'll actually pull from your different categories that you like talking about. A lot of people talk about like having content pillars for your business. You can set up your different things that you talk about. I'll show you some of mine behind the scenes. I've got this little cog wheel up here. You'll set this up when you go inside of here. You'll set it up for the first time. It'll ask you a couple things about which topics you like, and then you can always add a topic or switch them or I can right now I've got the things that are important to my audience is like what to post or hook ideas or views to leads or how to save time posting, lead magnets that work, where to show up, what kind of platforms or offer message fit. And if I don't, want one of these categories to be like creating the ideas from it, all I have to do is drag it over here and say, I don't want to be talking about that right now. Give me ideas based off of these
Oh, come on.
instead.
Shout out. I
So
didn't even know that.
it's cool, right?
Yeah.
So inside of there, when you hit brainstorm ideas, it's just going to give you this whole flood of different content ideas, and you can see each one is kind of color coded, like myths to bust or different questions, or things that are going to prompt your audience to answer a question, or mistakes to avoid, belief shifts that need to happen, tips and tricks, objections, all of that kind of stuff. Polls, if you like polling your audience about kind of stuff, like how do people usually reach out to you? Is it comments on posts? Is it direct messages, or is it email from bio? And these are kind of things that get your audience to engage with you if you choose that one there. And so it gives you a ton of ideas. And again, for a person who ideation, it's not the strongest suit of mine. I just want to go inside of here and pick, the myth that batching content feels less authentic, for example. I'll
Okay,
go ahead and
there you
click that
go.
one there.
Thank you. All right. hold,
So we're gonna go inside
hold
here.
on. We're gonna go in there, but I don't know if Alicia comes yet. Alicia might be getting her Winnebago today. Yo, this is in our group in our gold class. This is a common fight because I am forever complaining about how much I can't batch content, but I really need to. I have a bunch of busy stuff coming up soon, and I can't wrap my head around it. And it's funny because I just told the chat, like, if they had an idea, content oriented idea they want us to flex, send one, and then you just happen to pick a stunner right out of the gate. So,
Uh, well,
as
it's
Kanye
a
would say,
common.
I'm gonna let you. What did Kanye say? I'm gonna let you shine. Oh my God! Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So, yeah, it's a common thing, right? There's especially even in light of AI, there's the idea that maybe you lose more of your authenticity. But if you train the system to about who your audience is about, how you talk to them, and your message, the ideas that you want to communicate, you're able to do that at a scale that is authentic, right? All of us are probably typing something on a computer. We're not writing our notes too much anymore when we're writing scripts or anything like that, right? So we're using technology in a way that, a previous generation or two would say is inauthentic. We're not using typewriters anymore. We're using keyboards. The idea though is that you're communicating a message whether it's on a freaking typewriter or whether it's on a laptop or if it's on your freaking cell phone, right? Like the technology changes, but the message, how you're communicating, is the important piece. It's not about what you're typing it out on, and AI makes it easy for you to be able to communicate your message to the people you want to communicate it to, and do that in a way that is at a scale that most people have not had before.
Bro, it's brilliant.
Um,
It's brilliant. All right, let's
so
dive into this one. That's so good though.
yes,
It's so funny. That is one, and it's not even really for me. Of even the authenticity thing. It's just my brain just fights me on it, and I'm like, I know I need to do this. I got way too much work to do not to batch content. And then there's a day where you just happen to have kind of nothing to do all day. We got weather. The whole team got weathered out on Monday, so that would have been a perfect day for me to make like 20 videos, because like
yeah,
my whole team was under snow, except me. Of course, we don't have that
yeah.
problem.
Well, you're probably a little bit more of a pantser like me. Like you like running by the seat of your pants and creating content on the fly as it comes through your brain, and you're
Yeah,
like that idea and communicate that, right?
yeah.
Well, you could still do that. You could still capture the lightning when it happens, but then be able to do a little bit more. So you can capture that creative moment and create so much more volume from it now. And so that's all batching is. It's just choosing, am I creating one thing or am I creating, a series of things on this message, on this idea that's able to hit people at the same time. So This tool, when you click into any one of those ideas, it'll very quickly create three basic outlines. Now, these outlines are actually more for the AI than it is for you. This is not how the content is going to come out, but it gives the AI a rough idea about like a good direction to go. So it'll give you kind of like the quick idea about it, the authenticity paradox, how batching actually makes your content more genuine, and it gives a couple bullet points that the AI can start thinking about, right? So you're just telling it, you know what, I like behind the curtain reality, how successful authorities actually create content, or authenticity killers, what makes content feel fake. You know what? I like this one. I like this one a lot. It's a different one. So I can select this outline. I'm gonna say I want to go this angle with it, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I want an email, and I want a carousel, and I want just to provide value to my audience. Now this objective right here, you can pick and choose and say, you know what? I want to offer a free thing, or I want to offer a paid thing, or by default, it's gonna say I want to provide value to my audience, which basically means the content is going to be written so that people take action on the idea and the content itself. Because you don't want to just be saying things just to say things. You want to say things to help people do the things that are going to help them. So provide value to my audience does just that. I'm just going to keep that objective there. And then I'm going to hit the continue button. And what this is going to do is actually going to start out by writing that email because I clicked that one first. It's going to start by writing an email based on the outline that I selected there. So it'll come up with a couple different subject line options, and I can A/B test these if I want to. And it's written for the format that I'm selecting it for. So you're not going to write an email the way that you would necessarily write content for a video, right? You're not going to write a blog post the same way that you would write a YouTube video. It's different formats and different styles, different cadences of the text. And so you can see here what it would look like over here on the left, what it would look like kind of like in a person's email browser. So whether that's on their phone or on their desktop, here's the subject line. If I switch it, you can see what the subject line is going to look like. I really like this one. Why your content feels fake. That's a good punchy, confrontational kind of thing. And some people aren't very confrontational with their copy, and that's okay. It'll learn based off of your voice. I like to call a spade, and that's why it's creating these kind of subject lines for me. So it's authentic to your voice, not just, what, copywriter so and so says you need to make it like it will write for you and your audience. So down here, we've got this is just how the email reads. Ever notice how the most authentic influencers all sound the same? Rise and grind. Mindset is everything. You got this, boss babe. Copy, paste, repeat. Meanwhile, there's this myth floating around that batching content makes it feel less authentic. Like somehow writing your posts on Sunday instead of Tuesday morning sucks the soul right out of them. Here's what actually kills authenticity: sounding like everyone else. You know what makes content feel fake? Generic buzzwords, recycled quotes from Gary Vaynerchuk, playing it safe that your grandmother and your biggest competitor could swap posts and nobody would notice. Timing doesn't matter, the voice does. I've seen people post spontaneous thoughts that sound like they came from a motivational poster factory. I've seen batch content that makes me feel like I was having coffee with the writer. Real authenticity isn't about when you write it, it's about having the guts to share what you actually think, your weird observations, your unpopular opinions, the stuff that happened behind the scenes that nobody talks about. Most people are so busy trying to sound authentic that they actually forget to be authentic. They're afraid their real voice isn't good enough, so they borrow someone else's. And that's what makes content feel hollow, not your content calendar. Stop hiding behind industry speak and borrowed wisdom. The world doesn't need another person saying hustle harder. It needs your take on things, your story, your perspective. Today, look at your last 5 posts. Do they sound like you're talking to a friend, or like you're reading from someone else's playbook. Write one post in your actual voice, the one your friends would recognize, not the ones you think will get more likes.
Bro, that is freaking gold. That is absolute gold.
So I love this. I actually might actually ship this out to my list. I'm just going to hit the continue button here, and that's going to add that to my planner. And it's going to start working on a carousel version. And like I said earlier, like the format is different on a carousel than an email. There's a lot more brevity to a carousel. It needs to be a lot more shorter when it comes to those different slides, but I want to communicate the same message, right? And so instead of having to crank it out of my mind and go, how do I make this a freaking carousel? All I have to do is hit the next button and it starts working on the carousel version of that same message to that audience in my voice and with my ideas.
And one thing that's connective, which I totally screw up, and I will admit this in a regular basis. One thing that's like the connective tissue on this particular situation, and this is what I meant in the very beginning of this thing when I said it kind of can help you with themes. So you send out this email, and somebody would read it really quickly, but it's in an email box. They got like 80 other things that they're doing, and they hear it. And this just hit me like a ton of bricks this week. In when I was at University of Hawaii, we were told it takes 7 touch points before a person makes a purchase. Right now,
Hmm.
because of the signal to noise ratio of the crap that's out there on the internet, is closer to 11 to 13 now.
Hmm.
And so, get this email, Noelle reads it. She's like, oh my God, that's really hitting. And then she's like, oh, I got to finish this quarterly report. Oh, I got a Zoom meeting in 5 seconds or whatever. So the next day or whatever, or later that day, she happens to go on Instagram. She got her latte in hand. She opens it up and she sees the carousel. And she's like, oh, these mofos is following me around. It happened yesterday. Mary Lou and I were having a chat. We were like, creators unstucking each other. And then I happened like 2 seconds later to get a reel that was saying exactly what we were talking about. And I was like, yo, why is this bitch following me? And I sent the thing to Mary Lou, and she was laughing because it was super funny, like 2 reels after what we were talking about. And this makes people think that they're listening to you, but I didn't have my phone in my hand when we were having our conversation, so it couldn't have been that. It's just one of the random things that your ambient awareness also makes you pay attention. If you tell
Yes.
yourself you're going to go buy a white minivan in the next month or so, all you will see is white minivans. Well, in Hawaii, you definitely will see tons of them, and white Tacomas. But it's just one of those things. I have a white SUV. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, just one of those things. It just is ambient awareness will put these things into your face. So what's really cool is not only you're going to send an email, but now we're going to show you the carousel that you could create. And the thing that I need to get through everybody's head because I can't get it through mine. Not everybody sees everything. So the feeling that we're irritating people is maybe would irritate the friend who has nothing to do with your clientele, right? But my best friend in the world will say dumb shit like, why are you always yelling in the video? I'm not talking to you, bro. In this particular case, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to these people and they need the foot in their ass, right? So let me yell at them. And he's like, oh, you just sound angry. And I'm like, I'm about to get angry at you. Shut up. This is not for you. Keep doing what we do. Like, all we do is talk about golf and woodworking and whiskey. This content is not for you. I'm talking to content creators. And he's such a talented artist. If he would actually make content, he would make more money. But he don't want to make content. And so it's kind of funny when your friend don't listen to your advice. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Don't get the impression that, cranking up your Gary telling you to do 5 post a day on IG is not irritating anybody. And the people that is irritating, they not buying your shit. They not your people.
Hmm.
The people
Hmm.
who are down for that, I definitely have creators who I could literally watch 20 of their reels a day because I love it. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get that through our head as creators. And we actually follow people who create prolifically and love everything that they put out. But then we don't do that because we feel like we're going to irritate our audience. And that has been driving me insane, but I'm getting my head around it. Okay. Let's go B.
That's so good. Um, I had a thought and it escaped me. I'll return to it if I remember
Sorry.
what it was.
Sorry.
No, it's good. No, what you were saying was, oh, there it is. There it is. Um, you were talking about like who you're talking to, right? Like with your content, like who you're trying to get across the board with the message, right? Um, the people who get annoyed and all of that kind of thing, like you said, it's not for them, and that's okay. Um, with even in the realm of marketing and sales and stuff, you'll hear a lot of things which are like, you have to convince people to buy from you. That is the stupidest lie. It's the stupidest lie. You want to market to people who already want your stuff. But the other lie that you've already bought into, probably, if you're a creator, if you're a business owner, and I say this because I've worked with so many different business owners, they say the same thing. What if nobody wants my stuff? There's people out there that want your stuff.
Yep.
Like there's people out there that want your stuff. The message is the thing that's gonna make them find you in the first place, right? It's not for the myriads of different people who don't want your content, who don't want to buy your thing, right? It's for the people who do want to buy your thing. So we're not having to do a bunch of convincing to people who already want to buy your thing. It's just figuring out, are we aligned in the first place? Is this thing the thing that I want or not? Right? And then they're able to make a clear decision about that.
That's so good.
And content is one of the ways that we do that, right? It's being able to identify the people who resonate with the message, who need to hear that, who maybe need the kick in the pants, right? And they're the ones going, oh, if I did it that way, if I actually listened to what Doc was saying, my life could be very different. My channel could be very different if I just did what he said. And that's who that message is for,
Brilliant.
right? That's the only convincing that needs to happen there is a change of thought.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not,
so funny how it's so
should I go
easy
this
to
way or
get
that way?
stuck on that, but that can mess you up, bro. It can mess you up in a big way. All right, let's take a look at this carousel. This is so cool, though, people. I'm telling you, you can get so much more content done in so much less time, which is good for all of you who love to say you don't have time.
Yeah. So, what, after it did the email, it already put together a carousel, and I've got three options to play with here. It's got a caption for me to post with a couple of hashtags. Um, I can flip through here. The first option was your content isn't fake because you batch it. It's fake for reasons you've never considered. Or option two is stop worrying about batching, start worrying about these authenticity killers instead. Or number three, how to create 30 days of authentic content in just one afternoon. That one's
I
good.
was
I
like,
actually really like the
yeah.
first one a lot. What are your thoughts, Doc?
I actually like 1 and 3, and I was
One
like,
and
here's
three.
the crazy part. Like, I'm gonna send one today, and whichever one I didn't pick, which was my second one, I just send it like 2 days later.
All right. Yeah. So we'll pick one of these options here, and you can actually swipe through and see what this carousel would look like with all of their different options. So the real authenticity killers. Most coaches are worried about the wrong thing. Now, my audience are coaches. It knows that about me, so that it's going to speak to coaches. Authenticity killer number one, generic industry speak. Mindset is everything. Just show up authentically. Find your why. Your audience has heard of this 847 times. It doesn't matter if you wrote it last Monday, this morning, 6 months ago. If it sounds like everyone else, it feels fake. And you can see how it's just building this idea all the way through these different authenticity killers. Now, if I switch to like option three, how to create 30 days of authentic content, it's going to give me an entirely different carousel based off of that premise with different steps. Step one, the voice audit. Now, these are just like design suggestions. This isn't like you're stuck with this design or anything. It's just working on the words. But we made the interface so that you can swipe through just like you would a real carousel with some basic styling, so you could see how it could look inside your carousels. So if I'm like, you know what, this is dope. I like this. I'm just gonna hit the continue button, and it's gonna add those things to my planner, and it can say, hey, look. This content idea, we created two things from it. We created that email, why your content feels fake, and that carousel. And you could create. There's a lot of different options there. I could have created a 15-minute YouTube script if I wanted to, in there, or blog posts or other kind of things. And then I'm just going to save and close this. And then we can jump into the planner. And the planner, now this is going to be a lot because we've been working like nonstop on like 30 days of content from this thing. And you can see all of the different kind of content that we have inside of here. We've got a lead magnet here. We've got an email. We've got a blog post, a carousel, a thread post, another carousel, and an email down here. And over here in my drafts, you can see up at the top, we have the how to create 30 days of authentic content, which we just created, and why your content feels fake email. And if I want to, get this going, I can just drag this over here. I've got it added to my review stack. I can go in. I can edit if I want to, like change up the subject line or any of those other kind of things. I could download it right here, or I could say, you know what, I want this to go out on, March or Tuesday. I'll do Tuesday. I like emailing at 6 a.m. That seems like a really good spot for me. And then I'm going to say it's scheduled. And what this will do is automatically move that over to the scheduled thing. But I can also view my content from a calendar. So I can see all of my different content. You can see this one had a couple more contents inside of it. So it's kind of got them ducked together. But we've got that one that I've got scheduled for the third. Now this doesn't go immediately into my email schedule, but this allows me to see all of my different content from one dashboard. This was one thing I felt like was missing when it came to campaigns, is like you had to homebrew some kind of thing in like an Airtable or project management system to be able to see what your content was doing. Um, we wanted a place where I can see this email is going out and this carousel and these themes are being sent to our audience, because we're thinking about content like we're thinking about shepherding people. We
Mm.
want to take care of the people that follow us, that listen to us, and part of that is to move people in different directions and go, you know what? We're thinking about uh, uh, creating batch content or something like that, and on that theme. And so I'll have an email going out about that. I'll have a carousel going out about that. I'll write a short video about that. And instead of just thinking about things in one piece of content, I'll have several different pieces of content that are causing a move of people in a direction, in a positive direction, right? Like we're really trying to help people break past that myth that batch content is less authentic, right? And so it's going to need those different touch points, like you were talking about, 7 to 12 different touch points that are going out, so it really sinks in and people will go, aha, you know what? Batching content, it makes a lot of sense. It's way more easier to do it this way. Like you just saw how much time we spent on that just to get an initial, even if this was just an initial first draft, and I wanted to custom it up some more, edit it a bunch and everything like that, just to get there. It saved so much time.
Man,
And I'm
it's
telling you,
so
nothing
cool.
is worse. Yeah, nothing is worse than staring at a blank page
Uh-huh.
and wondering what I had the idea and then it just kind of like left me or whatever. And the blinking cursor is going. Nothing's worse than that when you're trying to come up with something, when you're trying to come up with an email, or you're avoiding emailing because you're like, I'm not good at writing emails. Like this eliminates the blank page. This makes it so that your first draft is like an amazing draft, and if you want to make it even better from there, you can. But I'm telling you, like the things that we do change is like a word here or there inside of it, and we're like, man, this is good to go. Hit send. So this is what our content calendar looks like. For the past few weeks, we had some carousels going up. I almost died in Costa Rica. I had a carousel about that. You can check it out on my channel. I almost died from a huge waterfall in Costa Rica. Off of it was like several tier fall, and I was stopped at the edge like 3 times. So I wanted to share some of my life perspective. It's not a story that I share very often, but I was able to capture my story inside of ClarityScribe and able to turn it into a carousel format. And we put it out there. We did the graphics and stuff in Canva. So made that very quick process, and then hit publish, and we got our carousel out there. So
Here, I'm gonna send you something in the chat real quick. Everybody else can ignore this. I'm gonna send it just in the chat because then Brian can get it. I want you to show something which I think is the cool part. I sent you my YouTube video, and then, or if I text it to you if it's easier, let me know. And then what I want you to do is pop and hit the remix button. Cause
yeah,
I think remix is the thing. Oh my god! Wait here, let me family. Here's where this is cool. I know we just had this whole conversation of telling you not to take somebody else's video, or whatever. You can remix your own videos, but there is definitely a thing right now. And I also, again, I just talk about the things that I used to struggle with. I used to say, I can't make this video right now because Diana just made it, and everybody knows that we're too good of friends, so it's going to sound like that I'm copying her. But the reality is, I could explain something to Karen until I'm blue in the face. And then I could be on the phone talking to Diana, and then Karen come by, and Diana be like, "Hey, girl, blah blah. Did you try to drop kick him again?" Diana thinks Karen kicks me every day. She kind of does. And then she'll be like, "Hey, did you hear such and such and such?" And she's like, "Hey, you know what Diana just said? Diana just said." And then she'll say it, and I'll be like, "I, I told you that like 50 times. No, you didn't." So sometimes, you have to hear it from the person you need to hear it from, or you have to hear it in the style that you need to hear it from, or the manner, or just that country twang. I don't know what it is, but it is sinking differently. So oftentimes you might see a video that inspires you, right? And so I saw one the other day that I'm making a video about now, and it was discussing the fact that a follower on YouTube right now is 1,000 times better than the same follower on IG. And the theory, I speak English. The theory behind it is, when a person sees your content on IG or TikTok or these other, like, thumb flicker content platforms, they're going to see you for anywhere from 7 seconds to 120 seconds, whatever. But when someone watches your content on YouTube, they get bigger chunks of you, right? So they're going to spend 3, 4, 5 minutes with you, and you look at your AVD, your average view duration. You'll see how long people hang out with you, depending on your videos. But the time spent is completely different. So passing by Noelle in the safe way is like, "Hey girl, what's up?" Boom, 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 and we're both busy. We just throw the shaka and we're going about our business. But if we happen to catch each other at Costco, we'll put our carts like this and block the whole aisle and have a whole conversation. Happened to me the other day. I was cussing these people out, or we're in the parking lot. It's going to be a longer conversation, right? If I happen to catch her at a coffee shop and we're at Morning Brew or whatever, like, "Hey, sit down. What you doing?" "Nothing. I got time for the appointment." We sit down. We catch up. How's everything going? Like, you slapped Bryan recently. These kind of cool things. And you develop a different relationship. And so when someone's watching you on YouTube, they're like invested. Like, they're a little bit deeper invested than the content that you see on IG. And it's one of those things where, like, I think this next tool that we're going to show you can really help you take a concept that, like, everybody's talking about Olympics recently, right? And trying to figure out how to work it into your thing. And so it's a little different from trend jacking, because I think trend jacking is kind of a waste of time at this point, especially if that trend doesn't really match your audience. It's more of a niche bending where everyone's going to be talking about Pitt right now, or everyone's talking about, F1 season is tomorrow, starting up. We about to fire these things up, right? You can make the content fit what matches your community by hitting this remix button. This is the secret sauce in the back of ClarityScribe. Like, it hits different. So just go ahead, go ahead, drink your coffee real quick, adjust, stretch, do whatever you need to do, because Brian is going to, what we say in the hood, flip your wig. All right, here we go. Let's go. And I sent him
All
a
right,
link to
so
my video, which is more crazy because it's totally different.
Yeah, I have no idea what's inside the video. I hope it's
None of your
good.
business.
So we're gonna go ahead and hit the remix button here. Now, this is actually a
Hey,
feature.
it's Brad. Hey,
You know,
Brad.
yeah. The Doc reached out. He was like, Brian, like, is there a way for me to turn like a video into like a lead magnet or something like that? And I was like, there's probably a way to do it. You have to jump through these kind of things, but I think we could make it even better so you could just like paste in a link and do it. And so we came up with Remix based off of that conversation. So you heard it here first. I'm gonna paste in this link Doc sent me. I have no idea what's inside of this link. I'm just gonna paste it here. It
He
could take
dangerous.
YouTube, it could take Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, any of those videos, or I could just upload a document inside of here. I'm going to hit upload content, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to search through the video and get all of the like different nuggets from it. If he's teaching, it's going to create some kind of like a frame. It's going to extract the framework from that video, but then it'll also allow me to create this into other types of content like Doc was asking about. It can help you make it into a lead magnet. It can help you turn it into emails. It can help you turn it into short scripts, or a bunch of other kind of stuff. So right now it's processing, and you can see it's got the little processing timer up there. In just a moment, it's going to clear through and it'll be ready to remix. So you can see it's finalizing. So it's almost done.
Yo, I'm looking at these.
And
I'm looking at these titles, and the one where it says most creators miss the highest moment of intent from followers. I'm like, ooh, wait.
yeah,
I need.
yeah,
I need
it's
to
good
go hunt
stuff.
this
It's good
down.
stuff.
This sounds like good.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, talk about like trend jacking or trend bending. This the one over here, this one news lady, she was talking about how TikTok's new thing makes it so they've got this location feed for local businesses, and I was like, oh, that's hot stuff. And she's got all of the information on it. I just need to translate it for my brand and my people, and create content off of that. So we did some emails and a carousel and a short off of it, and it made it really easy to turn that piece of content and direct it towards the people that we serve. So
Look,
this
it's
video
done
is already
already.
ready to go.
It's done
It's
already.
done and it's ready to
Come
go.
on, son.
All I have to do is hit the remix button here. And here's all of the things. Now, knowing nothing about this video, it's got all of these key nuggets from it. There's like a contrarian take that you don't need fancy studio scripts or audio gear to win at short form content. Just lean your phone against a copy cup and get started. The big idea that platforms favor attention and completion, not fancy edits. Your viewers want value, not production quality. It's got a data point, some more contrarian takes, and all of this kind of stuff. And it'll just find whatever it can
Damn, I need to
from this
remix my
thing.
own video.
Dude, do it, do it. Um, and it gives me a full transcript if I want to. So I can actually just download this transcript right to my computer. It makes, needing a transcript and stuff like you can just throw it in there. If you just use it for the transcript feature, it'll pull it from it. And it's actually created a framework because you're teaching a concept. Now, whether you've actually implicitly put a framework together inside of the video, it'll grab that. Or if you're teaching something, but it needs to be made more simpler and can be taught, this is a really great way of taking some of your best concepts and putting it into a way that could be taught into like an online course or other kinds of things. And it gives me a quick summary about what's being taught inside of this. So what this does is this
Why are you laughing, Noel?
10 low effort video framework.
Noel, why are you laughing?
I
Are
am
you
just
are
watching.
y'all clicking around in the chat?
No, not at all. I'm listening to you share all of this stuff, and Doc is just like over here, like his mind is exploding. This is the fun part for me because Doc has seen all of this stuff before. We've shown him a few times, but every time we do it, he just lights up,
Like
and
I
it's
said,
really fun to
sometimes
watch.
Karen got to kick me. No, so
But to
here's what's funny is because Brian just said something that just blew my mind. Okay, I kind of did build a framework around it, but sometimes, again, you got to present the same framework differently. And the other thing that just dawned on me, what made me laugh so hard, I was like, every time you talk to Diana, she got another framework. Now I know where she be getting it from. she, you just out here snitching. Brian is rap snitching in these here streets. Okay,
So yeah, from this video, we've got the 10 low effort
look,
video
look,
framework,
look. She
right?
said 1,000 days of carnivore. Said, "Hey, wait a minute. I need to log in and catch up on some of these here features." And what's funny is I did actually, well, not that tab. I did actually run the remix on my own video, but I did this a while ago, January 6th. And yeah, it's kind of cool, right? And I'm curious to see. My framework here is probably the same as Brian or a little different, but yeah, it's this is why I wanted you to show this feature because I actually ran this on mine already way back in January, and then
Yeah.
I don't laugh at me. I kind of forgot that I did that, so now Noelle's watching me making faces, and I was like, bro, I have that same gold sitting in my pocket, and I did not use it to cross the bridge to get the princess from the castle. I just failed this game.
Oh, it's so true. People just sitting on their best stuff. You know, they sit on a pile of gold,
Yeah,
and your
I'm Puerto
gold is your
Rican, so I always sitting on my
ideas
best
and
stuff. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is so crazy. Listen, girl, listen, I don't care if you leave the chat right now, go log in and see what you got. Cause Brian been doing some craziness and I am proud that I gave him this headache. That he turned it into something dope. I just hit him up one night. I was like, hey, can you do so and so? And he's like, hold on. He's like, hey, look at this. And I was like, well, shucky darn. No, I sound like Diana. Anyway, let's go back and look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, my cheeks are hurting. Well, stop laughing at me.
too good. So yeah, so we've got this framework. We've got the summary from it. This framework from this video eliminates content creation paralysis by providing 10 simple video templates that require no equipment, no editing or scripts, just your phone and authentic delivery. And here's a couple of the steps. You can one choose from 10 proven video templates. Step two, set up phone at eye level quickly. Step three, record 2 takes maximum per video. And step four, post immediately without editing. Now, that just gives me a little bit of an overview. If I want to go inside of here and go into what's the problem, what's the outcome, here's the different steps, here's how you do it, here's the action steps for this, here's some tips, here's some things to avoid about this. It builds out an entire thing, and you could literally put this into a course curriculum or something like that, or throw it into something else. You can also download it as a separate document that you have for yourself. So even if you're just teaching a concept and you don't have it all figured out to make it super simple for people to be able to teach this in the future, you can use the framework feature to be able to create the framework for you around your ideas and the steps that it would take. So pretty cool stuff there. But beyond that, just like you saw when we were creating ideas before, you have these same tools. In fact, you have a couple more here in Remix because you have way more content to work with the video. So I could turn this into 3 different value-based email sequences, and you saw how awesome the emails are. I could turn it into a carousel post. I could do a short form script from this if I wanted to. A thread post. I'll do threads. Actually, uh, I'll do short scripts and thread posts because we haven't shown those yet. There's also social media posts, like different types of social media posts or lead magnets. So I'm going to do a short form script and a thread post for this. And again, I can select my objective and I just want to provide value to my audience. But if you want to turn content into cash flow, you can choose the other objective that's like, I want this to ultimately sell my thing or something like that. And you can choose that. So for right now, I'm just going to provide value to my audience. I'm going to hit remix content. And it's actually working on this in the background. This one's going to be the short form script. It's going to work on that task first. And in the short form script thing, it works a little bit different than the different tools in that it'll give me 3 different hooks that I can choose from. So, and this is like the whole script over here on the left. You'll see how it changes. It gives me 3 different hooks to choose from. Now, I could, if you're really into hooks and doing different hooks, you could use all 3 if you wanted to and do in 3 separate videos. It's very easy to do that. But for this one, I can choose most coaches spend 10 hours a week creating content that gets them 0 leads. Here's a brutally simple fix. Or I stopped using fancy equipment for content creation and my engagement went through the roof. Here's why. I actually really like that one. So we'll select that one as part of it. And it gives me 3 different options for kind of like the middle of the content, we call the build. So there's option 1 here. And if I switch option 2, it does a different one. Option 3. And this is all written with the short form script. It's written for very short, engagement driven, not like clickbait kind of stuff, but stuff that's actually going to get the person through the content, but then also understand the thing that you're trying to communicate very simply. So the people who can break things down the most simplest are the ones who win when it comes to communication. So this does that, and it also helps that you're kind of crunched for time when you're doing short form, right? It's a minute or less. So let's see. I'll start trying option 2, and then I can choose my call to action at the end of the video. So I've got do this, create content that creates real engagement without spending hours on equipment or editing. And that's how you build authentic content that converts without overthinking production quality or perfect setups. Or so grab your phone,
Dude, that's
find
right. The
something, lean
last one is
against it.
straight out of the video, just minus my weird hip hop talk.
Yeah. So I'll read this all together. I mean, you can clip this if you want to. So I'll read it from the top. Um, all right. I stopped using fancy equipment for content creation, and my engagement went through the roof. Here's why. Stop thinking you need expensive equipment to create winning content. You need to do this instead. And when I made this switch, I started getting consistent engagement on every video. I switched from overthinking perfect setups and scripts to just hitting record and sharing value straight from my heart. Because platforms favor attention and completion, not production quality. So it makes no sense to spend hours editing when your viewers want clarity, not perfection. So go grab your phone, find something to lean it against, and record one micro story about a lesson you learned this week. You can take that to the bank.
Boom. See, that's
Boom,
gold.
done.
That's gold. And what's really crazy, people, I take things like that because I can't read scripts. Oh, I can. I just don't like to. And I'll take it and just do them as one-liners to the camera with big space in between. And then the other thing, what you can do right now, which is kind of a big deal, pick it up, walk to a different section of the house and do it, or go to a different location outside, or if you're in the car, do one in the car, then one outside the car, and then one in the trunk, right? Not in the trunk, but like sitting at the back. And then when you bring it into your editor, just clip the various pieces because it will still give you, without having to do crazy editing, it will give you that pattern interrupt thing. So you see a lot of
Mm-hmm.
creators doing this now. They'll start the video here and then they'll turn and talk to the video here and, go back and forth. And they really just record the video twice because it's such a short, and you just put it on the timeline and you zebra the clips. So cut holes in it and then push them down to the main timeline. I can show you if you guys want to see. It's a real easy process, but this makes it easy, right? And the way that Bryan set it up with, the way that the script is coming out is giving you that point to do this. And if you follow Diana's lead, which is smile, say the line, hold the smile. And then on the next one, smile, say the line, hold the smile. And if you do it that way, when you go to chop it up, it looks a heck of a lot better. And what's really crazy nowadays, both Premiere and DaVinci will auto chop it for you. Final Cut, they still ain't got that part in there yet, but it's still super easy to do. And if you know how fast you talk, this might be a little over most people's head, but as a DJ, I know how fast I talk. I can go get a track from Epidemic Sounds or Artlist that matches that tempo and put the beat grid on in all 3 of the above programs, and I can just put those clips on each beat. So it's even changing on the music. With the music really low, it's small, but your brain connects differently, right? It's super easy to do. But yeah, this is
Dude, we
gold.
gotta do a deep dive with you on that.
Yeah, it's super
That would be
gold.
dope. I haven't heard the thing about the switching it up on the beat.
Yeah.
The music to us is super important. It's one of the principles inside of our framework with Multiply. But like being able to switch it up on the beat, and if you've got a workflow for that, we
It
gotta
came.
we
I,
gotta
I
share
was
that
a
with the
rapper,
peeps.
so I can. It's just you know what I mean. Like you have an idea,
Yeah.
and what you do is you just play the script, and you kind of time out each of the segments. The way you wrote it, if you can you click back there real quick just so I can see it visually and
Yeah,
make
let
us.
me just pull it up. I'm just gonna hit continue on this,
Oh yeah, so we
and
don't lose
it will,
this. Yeah.
yeah, we don't lose it. Here we go.
All right, so if you look at the space, the majority of them are the same. And when we get to when we need to do this instead, I would just put a B-roll to make it finish the beat because that line is going to be short. Or once you have it chopped, if you want to go and add some extra lines, you need to do this instead. Like you slow that part down. But you kind of get into the habit of saying it into the areas. And if you pick the music ahead of time, you can play the music in your head while you do the bars. You know what I mean? And Diana just gave you the gold. Diana did go. Your brain loves patterns, right? So your boy Billy Shakes, he always spoke in iambic pentameter because your brain likes patterns. So even before we had any knowledge of why this works, we had Billy Shakes out here writing Romeo and Juliet in all his various sonnets in iambic pentameter because it works. And Japanese folks, even before Billy Shakes was born, was writing haikus, right? Your brain
Mhm.
likes a pattern. So if you can find a way to make this fit those kind of patterns, inserting the B rolls in, it just works, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's like you said, that's a deep dive. We'll say that for a
That's
different
so,
video, but
yeah.
this is freaking gold, absolute gold.
Yeah, so what we just did is we created that short script and then we worked on our thread. So our thread here, it'll show you a preview of what it would look like in like Threads or Twitter or X,
Still Twitter.
people keeping it as Twitter. It's Twitter. Um, so you can see what it would look like previewed inside of that thing. Each one has a thing that's going to move people along the concept. Again, the format is different, right? So we've got that long form video from Doc, but to write it in something that's going to be a thread, which got has the thread limitations in terms of how much text you can write inside of there, but we also need something that's going to move people along to the next idea through it. That's what this tool does. So we've got that inside of there, and we hit the continue button, and it added that to all of the things that we remix from this option. Now, if I want to keep on doing some more things with this clip, you don't have to upload it again. You can just go in and go, you know what? I want email sequence this time, or some social media posts, right? And you can hit the remix button, and it'll start working on that, and it'll work on those kind of things. And all of those different things that you create are also added to your planner. It's not a separate thing, it's all connected. So you can edit it, view it, schedule it, all that kind of stuff there.
Again, this is gold, and I'll tell you why. So I have a buddy of mine named Jeff C. He does a really cool show for us on Ecamm side of things, and I did an interview with Jeff. I want to call it like 3 years ago. I go on Twitter or X. I'm still say Twitter. I go on Twitter today, and I will see sometime in the last 2 or 3 days he's still tweeting that interview because the information is evergreen, and he just throws it in his planner. The planner spreads it out over a course of the thing, and it's sort of automatically going. So when you find content that works or content that converts or things that just happen to go, you just put them in there, and they'll just keep coming up. Now again, you think that, oh, that's a little bothersome or whatever, but I guarantee you, if you're scrubbing TikTok or Instagram, you'll see a reel or something that you already seen before, and sometimes it catches you. You watch it both times because you might even remember you seen it before until you get to the end, and you go, "Oh, dang it, I saw that." And I swear to you, to come back to you like 2 weeks later. And it's not that the algo, as you guys like to blame it, is showing it to you again. If you click on that creator and you look in their feed, they actually posted it 5 times because it works. And again, I was always
Hmm.
fighting that because I always hated it, but it absolutely works. And it's funny. Most of us are fighting against the things that actually work because they feel uncomfortable. But the reality is, you got to get uncomfortable to get somewhere. like I was fighting what it took to actually make a difference in my health journey. Um, but then once I just got past the being uncomfortable part, now the only uncomfortable part is I gotta buy all brand new pants because none of my pants fit. They all fall off. You know, it's really weird. It's a strange flex, but um, yeah, you'd be surprised that once you get past, it's not like when you first start lifting weights or whatever, right? When you got to get past that 3 or 4 days of pain because your muscle just ain't been messed with in a minute. And then you don't even feel it no more. You just go in, you put in your work, you do your thing, nobody cares, right? But that first couple times it hurts. So all your camera comfort and you're stuttering over your words, all this other stuff, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but there's no way to get past it. And if you can find a way to make an omelet without cracking the eggshell, you a bad mofo. I just want to see it because it can't be done. Not that I know of. Or you can buy fake eggs, but that doesn't count. That's not the same. But listen, bro, this is gold. I want to, real quick, let's talk about the summit so that people can get a chance to go deeper with you. And I will give you guys this screenshot real quick. Please screenshot this and then you can go and check out the summit. This is what we're fixing to be talking about, and I'll give you a couple of seconds to screenshot the old QR code so that you can get in where you fit in. Like, you're not going to want to miss this. And of course, I'll update I can speak English. I will update the description so that I'll put the link in the description, or for whatever reason, if you don't have it, you want to send it, you want to ask for it, I can send it to you. And then I'm also popping in the chat my link so that if you want to go and check out ClarityScribe, you can do that. And actually, if you take the ClarityScribe link and change the word clarity to summit, you'll get access to the summit. And let's have Bryan and Noelle tell us about the summit right here.
Yeah, so we're really excited. This coming April, we've got a big AI summit alongside Ray Edwards. We're hosting 14 different experts in business and in marketing and content creators. We've got Stu McLaren, Mike Stelzner, Joel Comm, Ali Burke, Michael Hyatt, Mark Mason, Cliff Ravenscraft, Nikki Saunders, David Martin, Tucker Max, Hala Taha, Blake Erickson, Raleigh Norton, Pat Flynn, all presenting what is working in their business when it comes to AI. This is not a bunch of hypothetical kind of stuff. This is not about where we think AI is going and, really highbrow kind of, stuff. It's all about what they're actually using and building to move the needle in their business, to move the needle when it comes to how they're communicating to their audiences. So these are things I'm a strong believer that success leaves clues. I'm going to be there producing, but I'm also going to be there taking notes. Like, these are people who are miles ahead of where even we are. And I'm going to be writing things down and getting big takeaways, just like you are. So it's a free event. It's April 15th through the 17th. It's 4 hours a day, but we will have replays available. So if you aren't able to make it exactly there, showing up live is going to be awesome because you can pump through some questions in the chat and stuff and get those things answered. But if you can't make it live, we do have those replays available to you. Again, it's a free event. And if you get your ticket now, you'll get the notification when we go live, and hope to see you there.
Yeah, there's also an invitation to join our school community that we're building around the event, because it's not just going to be the 3 days with our speakers. We are going to have ongoing community, where we'll have monthly, we'll have people come in, talk about AI, so we'll have AI experts. We'll talk a lot about ClarityScribe in there, obviously, because it's AI. So if you can't attend the summit, we would love to invite everybody to join that community, because we're all still learning AI, and it's just going to be a very AI focused group with people who want to learn AI.
That's so brilliant. I mean,
So come join us.
it's one of those things where, again, we're at this really weird inflection point, and I hate the fact almost that AI is the overarching word, because people always have the one lane that they get into, right? It's almost like when you talk about content, again, people think right now it just mean YouTube videos, but your newspaper is content. If you're making an album, that's content. Like if you're making a book, that's content, right? It's all, things that other people absorb for entertainment or edification or empowerment, whatever. That's all considered content. And we get into these weird things. We're still fighting about, a tomato is a fruit or a vegetable. It has seeds. It's a fruit. But it's one of those just really weird conversations. And unfortunately, so many people are like anti AI, but it's like, but you're talking about the wrong type of AI. And I love it when people say that they're anti AI, and I'm like, you take pictures with your iPhone? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do you press the button to make it look cute? Oh, yeah. Well, that's AI. It's machine learning. Like, this artificially intelligent that's letting you know, let me do the highlights, the shadows, and everything in order to make it work a particular way so that the image looks the way it works. Your car won't let you hit another car. Hello, AI, right? If your car has an eco button, so you save gas, the machine learning, like it's all there. Like, so unfortunately, the hate space around AI is normally talking about AI videos, deepfake videos, and just the unnecessary crappy writing that's coming out. But this is just different, right? It's written by professional copywriters, and we've all watched this show, and we're like, I wanted to like this show, but the story is terrible. The character arc is terrible. That's copy. You know what I'm saying? George R. Martin, though, he's like, oh, not only am I have you sit through and binge watch this here, Matt, I'm going to make you wait for 2 years for the update and ain't going to say nothing about it. And we all sitting here like, hurry up, George. George, you looking kind of old. I need you to finish the dang story before you go. Come on. I need my ice and fire and my fire and ice and my, where's that? A House of Dragons. I need all of that. Bring it, George, bring it. And that's just good writing. So we know what this stuff is. And unfortunately, certain industries, including our own, we like to turn things into buzzwords. And a lot of times, Diana has a famous one. Oh, doctors would tell you have hypertension, but your grandma would tell you messing with her pressure. It's the same thing, but grandma's version is way more relatable because there's still some kinfolks out here that don't know what hypertensive behaviors are, what hypertensive habits are. But they know when you're about to get under grandma's pressure, the slippers coming off, the fly swatter about to come your way. Go get that switch. Go select that switch out the backyard and bring it back in. Or in my case, going to get bust upside the head with one of them gold-plated Bibles. My grandma was an Eastern Star. Her Bible had gold leaf. And it was like, pow, ah! And it's like, I just hurt more when you got hit with the Bible. It was different. He said the doctor's office use it too, right? Use AI whether you like it or not. 100%. 100%. This is 100% true. Yes, and if you ask Siri or Alexa or any of them girls a question, you're getting, the AI. So it's really weird. I think we're just at an inflection point right now where the tools are maturing, and they're maturing in a very, very big way. And I think we're going to soon get past the generative AI people tripping and start to understand like how you can make it absolutely work for you. It's funny. Paul, Mr. Moderator over here, is playing with this really cool piano teaching situation, and they have a sensor that goes over the top that can see your hand placement and whatever, and that sensor can tell the app that you are pressing your keys wrong or too fast or your hands aren't in the right positions or whatever.
Wow.
Again, it's all AI, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like my tea kettle will not screw up tea because it has fuzzy logic. Actually, you guys got Zojirushi rice pot? What kind of rice pot you got? Don't tell me you still live here. You don't cook rice with the rice pot.
Dude, we use a little regular stove pot.
You doing it the hard way still, bro? How long you guys live here? That's against the rules. You guys are fired. Well, the rice pots, like if you pick like a Zojirushi Tiger or whatever, they all have fuzzy logic in it. So even if you do something crazy and put too much water, it will fix it. It will know to go
Wow.
further until the water get right, right? And then if you
Wow.
put too little bit water, it will try to let it steam longer or soak longer because it has logic in it. Like it knows what the freak it's doing. It's really hard to get bad rice out the rice pot. It's really one of those things. And we're just in such. I mean, I was laughing the other day because my car will scream at me about how close I like to park to the wall. But I do that because my neighbor is a little flingy with the door. you know. And then I don't want any dents in the side of the beam, so I tuck it really tight against the wall. But I have to fight with the car's logic because it don't want to be that close to the wall. It thinks that you're going to hit the wall. And again, all of this stuff is helping us out. It's all in our favor. So we're in a good position right now as creators. We have tools that are available to us. Bryan created an incredible tool. And I don't know, this is a very strange and weird flex. I know lots of people who make lots of software. Um, it's different when somebody made something cool that's down the street from you. I don't know why. It's super stupid. It should have no effect on the conversation whatsoever. But it's just something about, like, if I go to Safeway in Cabo Hulu, I might see y'all. So I don't know. I just think that's super cool. And you guys did an incredible job with it. And I swear, I'm like 1,000 Days Carnivore. Every time I go in there, I'm like, oh, am I supposed to press that? I'd be scared to press stuff. Like I haven't even separated things into projects yet, and I just realized from looking at yours, you got all of the projects going, and I'm like,
Oh,
dang,
dude.
I need to freaking separate this because I be making my job harder by not using projects.
Yeah, so like for the summit, for example, we've got all of our different like the sales page inside of here. We've got all this kind of stuff. We also have a strategy canvas for this. I'll show you just a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah.
Oh,
Show
what
that.
the? What
This is
the?
dope.
This is for a
So
different call.
Oh,
yeah,
Kathleen, what
we'll
in the
go deep
hell?
another time. So like right now, like the RSVP page for the summit, if you're visiting it, that's this page here. And for the people who go there, for example, and they decide not to yet, we're gonna follow them up with a little retargeting ad, right? We've got our different emails and stuff, and I can click into any one of these, for example, like the RSVP page. I'll click over here, and it'll give me the copy for that. So it actually organizes everything visually. So I can go, this is my entire process for this campaign, this funnel, all this other kind of stuff. And here's all of the different copy for the stuff. Here's the stuff, for my ads, all of it, all of that. And I don't have to jump around inside of the different tabs. I can have it all linked right here. Or, if I want to just find it inside the folder, I can go in the side and I could go, oh, I want to check out the registration copy, and I'll go inside or the registration email, whatever. So I could go there and edit it. But that's all the like copy tools for like sales copy and all that. Um, which you could go deeper maybe another time inside of that. But yeah, the strategy canvas, that's a creator plus. If you're working with massive campaigns with a bunch of different clients, we wanted to make it really easy for you to be able to manage that visually, and be able to succeed with that instead of having to hunt down your documents. We thought that was the dumbest thing.
When
That's the
Paul
dumbest
seen
thing
that
about
page
AI.
right there, and then his heart tickled a little bit. That's you just opened up Paul Duncan's whole world right there. Paul was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, damn, he cute." See, I knew it, man. This is good. Thank you guys for coming through and showing this. Anybody, if you're in the eCam community, of course, we're going to do this again on Friday for our tech talk. We're going to dive in talking about, using stuff like this to help you create titles and thumbnails that will actually get you clicks on your videos. And again, if you happen to have a product, this is dope. And if you don't, like, it really could just help you get more eyeballs on your content because everything is copy. It's funny they say everything is content. It definitely should be everything is copy. Like, it's really crazy. And you'll start to notice it as you're watching TV today. You're going to be like, I see what they did there. Oh, I see what they did there. Like, if you really pay attention to it, you can definitely see it. But yeah, this was great. Thank you guys for coming through. Look, just it's oh, Diana said that the canvas is her spirit animal. She's fired. Over here we call that an amakua. It's slightly different. Same thing though. This is Amazeballs family. I can't wait. Let me guys remind you once again, if you want to get at the summit, take a quick screenshot of this QR code. This will allow you to get access to the summit, and it is coming up right quick. Like, you can also go to docrock.live/summit. That will put you in like Flynn, so you can get there. And if you want to check out ClarityScribe AI, so that way you do not sound like a robot, just go to docrock.live/clarity. And I even made one of those. Boom. You can go here. And I forgot to put my face in the middle. They're so stupid. Anyway, take a screenshot of that, and then or just hit the link, docrock.live/clarity, and that will put you in the mix. This is really good stuff. Paul, did you trigger that from where you at? Shut up. Come on. Look at that. Look, listen, we'll get into how I did the ticker later, but Paul just turned the ticker on for me from California. Yo, I'm telling you, making content nowadays is off the chain. Wait, did you update
It's
the
so
ticker
fun.
to say something stupid? I'm not gonna trust Paul. He'd be like, everybody, please click away. This dude is
I resisted.
crazy. All right, gang. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to go in the background and play around more. The minute that Diana just called me up one day and was like, I gotta show you something and I'm gonna let you talk to Noelle and Bryan. And then I was like, oh my goodness, Wanda, oh my goodness. And it's really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please reach out to us. And then what's the best way for them to follow you guys?
Yeah, you can follow on Instagram at Bryan J. Switalski, and then Noelle's is
Noelle Switalski. I'll put it in the chat for you guys if you guys
You
can
guys-
it's a
just
long
filibuster.
last. It's a long Polish last
You
name.
can't
So
spell this. You can't spell this. Switalski.
Or you can follow us here on YouTube. Our handle is at ClarityScribe, and you can see all the content that we are creating, all done by AI, all using ClarityScribe, using the Idea Hub and, of course, Remix, because why wouldn't you want to repurpose all of the hard work that you've already done?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's funny because there's so much talk about right now about stop just repurposing the same old content. And I get that because a lot of people are trying to use the AI choppers, and the AI choppers alone are decent, but they're not really, like all they're cracked up to be. But this just hits absolutely different. Like, it just hits different. It's a whole different sauce. So get in there and go and check it out, people. I appreciate you guys. I will see you. I got to go get coffee and then go to class because Aubrey is looking at me funny. Like, you late for class, dude. Anyway, you guys stay up. Appreciate you. Aloha.
You're mine. How I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine.